And then too, before I wanted to talk to you about Ryan Martin, Blue Chip, added to your stable. But before that, I just had to ask about Wilder Fury. Fury switching trainers from the young Ben Davison. He moves on to Sugar Javon Hill from the Kronk Gym. What do you think of that move?
Well, it's not really my decision to make. And Tyson knows his team better than anyone else. Looking completely from the outside.
Right.
And look, it's not entirely from the outside because, look, I know Tyson. I've spent time with Ben. I've watched what Ben did with them. I think that Ben saved Tyson's life. I think Ben had take the age of Ben completely out of the equation. He was a very young trainer. But what he was able to achieve was phenomenal, and results speak for themselves. And not just getting those wins in the ring, but the way he was able to relate to Tyson, to get Tyson to become disciplined again, to bring him back from a point when he was at rock bottom. Somebody who does that for you, and somebody who has the ability to push your buttons and get you there, is, I would think, is somebody I would always want as part of my team, whether he's my head coach, my assistant coach, or just there with me. I would always want that guy with me.
Invaluable,
I would say.
Right. Well, again, just you're on the outside looking in, Kev. But I'm just searching for why it could happen. Is it possible the young man was getting too much credit, and maybe doing a lot of media was he getting too much credit, and maybe that's part of what made Tyson not.
Well, I don't think he was doing too much media. He was.
Neither do I. Certainly as a media guy.
He was put in a situation where he was Tyson Fury's trainer.
Yeah, I've seen Ben turn down a lot of interviews actually.
And that. We all know that Tyson Fury is larger than life, and he does an amazing job of promoting and marketing himself. And he's the modern day equivalent to Muhammad Ali. He is a great self marketer. For you to say Ben doing too much media, obviously as his role of trainer, people want to talk to him. Just like they probably want to talk to Tyson's brother. They want, they've done documentaries on his family. I'm sure they interview his friends. They can't get enough of Tyson Fury at the moment. So I definitely don't see that being a problem. And look, Ben Davison's a good trainer, a good young trainer, and he will come again. And I think this year we'll see him working with a lot of elite British fighters. So, for Tyson to change his trainer, I think it'll be someone else's game.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because that was just me searching my brain for, what in the world could it be? But moving on, without Ben, does Tyson win the rematch against Wilder next month?
Look, I'll tell you what, I think both guys will be better in the rematch. Mm-hmm. Both guys will obviously know more about each other. Both guys are coming off fights where, we know Tyson's fight was not a good performance.
One before it was good, at least, against Schwartz.
The one before that, he did the job straight away. There were things that went wrong in the fight. He got hit with a punch in I believe the second round that split his eye open. Mm-hmm. Well, you can't blame Ben for that. And it was good that they were able to hold it together, but it wasn't Tyson's best work. But I think Tyson is one of those fighters who fights to the level of his opposition. He will, as we saw when he fought Klitschko, as we saw when he fought Wilder the first time, when everybody wrote him off. The bigger the fight, the better the occasion for him. But that wasn't a great performance. Wilder against Ortiz, terrible boxing in the first 6 rounds, just terrible. For a guy who is the heavyweight king. He's got all the defenses. He's got an amazing record. Will go down as probably the biggest puncher in the heavyweight division. Mm-hmm. Sure, the power finally came through at the end of the 6th round, but before that, he looked very, very ordinary, and he was very much behind on the judges' cards. Now, if that guy if that guy brings that performance to Fury, I think Fury beats him easy. But I think, I look at Wilder's team. He's got good experience. JD's has done a great job with him throughout his career. Mark Breland's been very solid for him. Experienced guys, they will make the adjustments. There were repetition lead patterns that Wilder did over and over again in that fight that I was going, why? It's not working. Why are you doing the same punch?
In the first Fury fight?
In the first fight. Change things up. And I think, as I mentioned before, I think both guys will be better in the rematch.
Will he have to let his hands go more, Wilder? He won't be able to wait him out like he did with Ortiz and with...
No, he will have to punch, and he'll have to try and match Fury's volume. And, obviously, if you're going to let a guy with the boxing skill of Tyson Fury dictate things, control the distance, and work off his long flick jab, and you do nothing, it's going to be very hard for you to get close enough to land that right hand. So he's going to have to punch when Tyson punches. As simple as that.
Or else you let the fight get away from you.
Most definitely.
And Kev, but ultimately, both guys are going to be better. But who do you lean towards a month out?
It's too early for me to make my prediction.
I don't believe you. I think if your son was here and it was the two of you chopping it up in the gym, but that's okay, Kevin. We got a month to go. I'll get a few more cracks at getting it out of you.